The truth about subscription boxes for preppers, homesteaders, survivalists, bushcrafters. Hey YouTube, this is The Art of Prepping. Thanks for joining me today. Just a quick video because of a lot of questions about this, and I'm seeing a lot more videos on the internet talking about this, so I think it's good to kind of chime in. A lot of misinformation about subscription boxes, in particular those designed for those with prepared mindsets. And while on the outside looking in, it may seem like a good value to make a purchase anywhere from $25 to $150 typically, and there's typically ranges in between for different types of levels of subscriptions within each company. The problem with this is that, number one, you have no control over what you're purchasing. You may get a very good value, in some cases even 50, 60, and 70% off of retail, but you don't know what you're buying. So you most likely will get things that you may not even want or need. And so while there may be a thing or two in each box that you might like, and you might even have had plans to even purchase it anyways, you're still going to be having a lot of stuff that you probably much are going to just give away or just throw in a box, in a drawer somewhere maybe. And so you have no control over what you're buying. I would rather pay a premium for a product and actually get what I want and need than actually just have a bunch of stuff that may or may not fit my my goals and my systems. So I want to do that and just talk about that. And then also I want to talk about this whole misnomer that people that are prepping sometimes go into collecting items. And then another way that people define collecting is that it's hoarding. Okay, yes, I agree that people who prep excessively in some categories, supposedly you can have too much redundancy, some people say. I don't know about all that. I think that, there could be a level of, if you have 100 fire starters, for example, you may not need to buy anymore. So that could be maybe excessive, redundancy. But people say, well, at that point, though, that excessive redundancy is actually sometimes being labeled as collecting, like I collect fire starters, for example. Someone could say that. And that's just a key word being used instead of saying that you're a hoarder. Now, I think that collecting something is very different than hoarding. And so we can get into that later if you want, but you can just look up the definitions and they're totally different things. Like, I collect pocket knives. Am I a hoarder of pocket knives? I do not hoard pocket knives. I use the knives. I use them sometimes as props in the videos. I share them with friends. We use them to do projects. I use them for camping. It's unbelievable how some people like to just bring and tie words together to make it all nice and easy for everyone to understand, when it's all a lie. So there's actually some videos out right now, and I'm not getting on the bandwagon to put other people down. I don't do that. But there's some people who go by the certain name of a prepper that say things like this. And I think it's just a real sham, And so do not buy any of these subscription boxes. It's just not a good value for you in the long run. You could say yourself, but the items are a good value. Yeah, maybe if you just happen to need all those items in a subscription box, but what's the actual likelihood of that being true? Almost zero. And so this is a cautionary thing, especially for new preppers, not to get caught up in this craze. There are countless subscription boxes and services that you can get yourself into. And so instead of, dropping $25, $50, $100, $150 a month on mystery boxes that, it's just, you're just hoping that it'll be good. And some of them are pretty good, in terms of the stuff they give you, in terms of, actual quality. But regardless, though, you may already have enough fire starters. You may already have enough knives. You may have enough backpacks. You may have enough water filters. And what you really need maybe is like storable food or more medical or very specific types of clothing that only you can pick out. So instead of all that, you're actually paying for mystery goods. And so please don't do that. I get questions a lot too about what box should I get. Once again, don't get any boxes. Everybody's saying, well, probably the best box is Battle Box. And yes, I am familiar with pretty much all the subscription services. I don't talk about them, but it doesn't mean that I'm not aware of them. I don't talk about them because they're not really conducive to us and on our goals. Because we don't want to dump money on things that we don't even know we're buying. And so I don't want to be too much more redundant on this topic, but I just get really upset when I hear people say, all you got to do is just get a subscription, and after a few years of it, you can stop the subscription, and then you have all you need. That's not been proven at all. Sometimes these subscription boxes are kind of repetitive, and once again, by the end of the year, after getting 12 boxes, you could have maybe 10 fire starters. You could have maybe 20 blades, and maybe you don't even like any of them. Maybe only a few of them you like. And so, why do we have to go around in circles about this? So for all those who've asked me, this is my opinion on this, and for all the prepping channels that are promoting these subscription boxes, you may want to reevaluate your motivation because you're really misleading those who are actually trying to better themselves and their family.